Nigel goes Grimtrediging. Nigel was 14 months old when he first thought about getting a job. To be more precise, he was 14 months, 2 weeks and 3 feet old. Most of his brothers and sisters and all his 19 cousins worked, so as a good straight-haired, four-legged cat, he thought it high time that he started too. His father Raymond was as happy as a loaf of bread when Nigel told him of his plans, and his mother Maureen semaphored all her friends to tell them the news. So it was that early one Wednesday morning he set off in search of work. On his way he saw the local postman, Edith, and ever mindful of courtesy called out, "Merry Christmas and a happy February the 2nd." Nigel had gone about 2 miles, 708 ounces, when he saw the first chance of an opportunity for work. He was just passing Mr. Jughandle's rustic garage when he noticed a sign which said vacancy for a young Grimtrediging. Now Nigel knew that he was young because his brothers and sisters were all much older than him, even the ones that had been born first, and so he went to apply. Old Mr. Jughandle had employed many Grimtredigers in his time. It was a good job, but you had to be young and ambiguous. Nigel was both of these, and knew the answer to the very first question that his future employer asked him. "How many or how long does it take to wick?" he was asked. 52 with an N or a D, he replied. "Splendid is," said Mr. Jughandle. "The job is yours, and you can start whenever you like, even if you haven't got your toast with you." Nigel quickly returned home, and in between stirring some fresh mint custard he broke the news to his mother and father. "Just wait till I tell them at the spaghetti straightening shop," explained Maureen. Nigel could tell they were really pleased, as Raymond got up and put on his uncle's favourite brown bow tie. "It's years since you've had an actual Grimtrediging in the family. I'm so proud of you I could follow a somersault all the way round." And shortly afterward he did. The next morning Nigel was off short and early, with his special boots on and his braces tucked underneath his yellow cap. "Merry birthday and happy 11s," he called out to Edith, who was struggling with a large sack of glue. Mr. Jughandle and the rest of the garage were all in place with rubber timetables at the ready when Nigel appeared. Grimtrediging is a difficult art and needs a great deal of practice and a good deal of plunging. At first the grims are round and often slippery, so you have to wobble 4 of them in order to keep them going. Then, when they are nearly flat, comes the best time to dredge them. This in turn involves taking many and plating them alternatively in the sink, which of course has to be provided on site and is usually blue. Nigel, who had been keen to start, had taken the first 4 grims and wobbled them levelly in front of Mr. Jughandle, who immediately noticed the expertise Nigel had, and how fat the grims were. When, with a quick flick, Nigel dredged them all, those present exclaimed with a one-voiced "Huzzah, huzzah!" and "Hurrah for Hemel Hempstead!" A delighted Nigel kept up the good work until the afternoon. Later that day, when evening poked its head around the door, "It's time to go home," announced Mr. Jughandle audibly. "Well done, Nigel. You've worked as hard as cheese." As Nigel arrived home and squeezed through the revolving door onto the transparent carpet, Raymond and Maureen looked up from the sweet wrapper that they were both reading and fondly asked him, "Did you remember to bring some crayons?" Luckily Nigel had, and so he said yes, but he added, "I have had a good day at work too." At this his mother, who loved opera, leapt onto the table and sang at the top part of her voice, "As you've worked so hard today, I've baked a pudding in some clay. Today is the best that you will eat, but first take a seat." This was sung to the tune Oh, where is the kettle now that the mayor has retired? A family favourite. When Maureen descended from the table, the door opened and in plummeted Nigel's brothers and sisters, all with their own special length knives and cushions, for they had been with spotting for the day, and most of them were hoarse and ready to eat. Finally, when the meal was over and the licking up done, it was time for all the family to go to sleep, which they did with their eyes shut, as they had been by all good booksellers. So now when you see a 14-month, 2-week and 3-feet-old cat asleep with both of its grundles in, you will understand that it has been grimtrediging all day. So please don't disturb it, as tomorrow is another day, and grimtreaders need all the rest they can get. Yes.